Do you want to be like this person?
I ain't got no money. I ain't got no car to take you on a date.
Or this person?
Got 25,000 on me when I've been riding in the phantom. Got all designer on me, bitch, I'm so fly, don't matter.
What's good, you guys? NWA here, Nurse Pat, coming at you again with some more heat. Got a different type of video here, but I do think it's important for us to talk about. You know, we don't learn how to manage our money in college. It's not really a subject that you talk about.
You gonna learn today. You gonna learn today.
In this video, I'm gonna touch up on three things: your spending, your saving, and investing. Now, even though these things are so important to life in general, especially outside of school, it's something that you sort of have to learn on your own. It's up to you really to have the right mindset, to have the right plan in order to have financial freedom. Honestly, you could be making bank as a nurse, yet be living paycheck to paycheck. You're not building long-term wealth, you're probably not gonna be able to buy a house, and you're not having a good retirement fund.
What are you doing?
You're literally stuck in a loop. Now let's talk about the spending. Now, a person's thoughts towards how they spend their money could be different. Someone can be liking to live their life lavishly and be able to enjoy the finer things in life. Some people like to save as much money as possible and enjoy the money later, so they got that delayed satisfaction. And some people, like myself, are somewhere in between. Do you have good spending habits? How much are you spending per month? Think about your rent or mortgage and utilities, car payments, loans, phone bill, food and gas, subscriptions, etc. Figure out how much you're spending towards each category. Can you cut back on anything? Most likely you can, and don't tell me otherwise. Do you really need to buy new shoes and new clothes every month? Do you really be needing to eat out every day? Maybe you suck at cooking, I don't know. Oh shit, hey! Learn a skill. Do you really be needing to buy Starbucks every single day?
No!
Some banks and credit card companies will already show you sort of like a pie graph or percentage to which categories your money is going to. So this is really helpful to see where you might be able to cut back on. So now that you've figured out how much you're spending per month, now you got to figure out how much can you save. It's good to have a savings account, especially an emergency fund. Now, a rule of thumb people like to use is to have at least 3 months worth of your monthly living expenses as an emergency fund. So you could refer back to the first part of the video where you calculated your spending per month and just multiply that by 3. Now, nursing is an extremely stable job and in high demand, so most likely you'll still be able to work. However, life can hit you with some shit. And things could be pretty steep, like car repairs, house repairs, or hospital bills. You really never know, and it's best to be prepared for it. If you cannot save an adequate amount of your paycheck per month, something is wrong. You need Jesus. I would recommend getting into a high yield savings account, because savings accounts with like big banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America will give you like the shittiest interest rates, like 0.01. Those are like literally pennies for them to hold your money. Nowadays, the interest rates are pretty trash in general, but it's at least better than 0.01. It's used to help fight inflation, because over the years, your money is just gonna be losing its value. Now, let's talk about investing. This is very important. I believe that the money that we earn should work for us. Have your money attract more money. Hey girl, I look at detail right quick. What? Hey girl, you trying to go to Patrick's money clip? Oh my god, yeah.
Don't think I've been at sex.
This will supplement our income. You know, with nursing, this profession, there's a ceiling with how much we can earn. And by that, I mean there's only so many hours per day that we could work. Sure, you could get like 2 or 3 jobs or get other degrees, but you're still gonna have that ceiling. Investments are important for building your wealth and your net worth. This is how the rich get richer. Now, the most common investments that people use is typically 1, the stock market, and 2, real estate. I plan to utilize both. Stocks are a bit easier to get into because you could start investing with as little as $1, and you could literally download a bunch of free apps on your phone. First, I'll talk about your retirement account. Now, hopefully, the hospital company you're working for will give you benefits to where you can contribute to a retirement account such as a 401k or a 403b, and they'll give you some matching towards your contributions. If you start early and start maximizing this, I have no doubt that once you're retired, you will be a millionaire. And that's just hard facts. Just doing the math with compound interest, a conservative 7% per year, by the time you retire, you'll have millions. Only downside, of course, is that you cannot touch this money. You can also supplement that with a Roth IRA, which you're putting money towards retirement as well, but that money is untaxed at the very end because you already paid taxes for it from your paycheck. Now that your retirement is out of the way, you could think about personal investing in stocks with a personal brokerage. This is where you could choose companies or ETFs that you have high conviction towards and have good long-term success. You got to do your due diligence and do your research if you're going to be picking individual stocks. If you're not and you're going with hype, that's no better than just betting. I mean, you could do that too. You could bet and you could trade. You know, I do that too every now and then. But when it comes to long-term wealth building a good diversified portfolio is the way to go. Now, there's a ton of free brokerages out there that people use. So if you have a friend or family member that can refer you to one of them, go ahead and do that. If not, I personally have used these 3. You don't have to sign up under me if you don't want to, but I'll leave them in the description. The main one that I use is called Webull. This is an app that I feel is good for intermediates for investing and trading. It has a lot of fundamental analysis and technical indicators for you to make good decisions, in my opinion. The other one I use is called M1 Finance, and this one is more of a lazier approach, for people who are beginners or intermediates that just want to set the money and forget. This one, you could basically make a pie chart with different allocations of stocks and ETFs, and you could just put any amount of money in there and it automatically allocates it towards the percentages that you choose. The con of this one is it's not as good for trading. The other one I've used before is Robinhood. You've probably heard of this one too. It's a good beginner-friendly, easy interface app that I could use towards trading and investing. Recently, they got into a little bit of drama, so it's up to you if you want to use them. Now let's talk about real estate. This is a bit harder to invest in because it requires a lot of money to get into. Having a deposit for a house is a lot of money. The lowest you could typically get is an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down, or if you're a veteran, you can get less. But things that you need to consider is that you need to make sure that you could afford this house, and you need to make sure you have a good deal. Some good resources that I use is mortgagecalculator.org and also Rentometer, so you can see if you're generally getting a good deal for the house in the specific area. You could sort of gauge between the mortgage cost with insurance, maintenance, repair, and all that stuff compared to how much you might be able to rent out the house for. Now, if you're doing an FHA loan, you do have to live in the house, at least, one of the rooms, and the other people will live in the other rooms, otherwise called house hacking. Because if you're having it as a pure investment property, they're most likely going to tell you need at least 20% of a down payment, which most likely is a shit ton of money. It's complex, but the way things are is that with rental income, there's a way to reduce the taxes on that income. And when you're getting rent from those people, part of it is going towards the principal of your house, the principal of your loan. So you're building equity at the same time. One thing though, I think you should only invest in real estate if your credit score is on point. So they say in order to get the best rates, try to have your credit score above 740. I haven't started on this yet, but I definitely will in the future. Kind of want to see where Biden's going with the whole $15K instant tax credit towards first home buyers. Now that we've talked about the three important things, spending, saving, and investing, how can we plan? It's all based on individualized goals, mindsets, and situations. Since I'm relatively young and I don't have kids at the moment, I'm currently using a 50-30-20 split. This is based on your take-home pay, not your gross, but your take-home pay. And this is also ideally after you've already established your 3-month emergency fund. I got 50% towards my monthly expenses, and these are all your necessities plus leisure, right? Your housing, your car, all that stuff. 30% goes towards investing. So I'll put 30% towards my stocks, or you'll have 30% towards saving for a down payment for a house. And then 20% goes into savings. Percentages could be played around with. That's just what works for me. But for someone else, they might need to hike up the monthly expenses and lower the savings and the investments. You just got to figure out what works for you. But yeah, this is all advice. I just feel like a lot of nurses and nursing students, especially starting off, don't really think about this type of thing. But yeah, I hope you like the content. I hope it helps you guys out. If you're feeling it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. Let's make that bread. Stay safe, stay humble. I'm out.